Welcome to today's Coleman webinar, SBA loan eligibility. For you repeat attendees, you know we always like to start a little early, make sure we're on the right date, all the technical issues are solved. I have Edith Wiseman, the president of FRANdata, as our special guest. She is one of the country's leading experts on franchising. And Edith, welcome.
Thank you.
Bunch of news to cover. We only got 10 minutes, so let's rock and roll. You just came back from San Antonio, IFA, one of the largest franchise conventions out there. What's the mood? How do people feel about franchising on Main Street these days?
So the mood is very upbeat. I will say that
good.
The
franchising we didn't have that conversation a couple years ago. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead.
They're excited about the new leadership at the International Franchise Association, leading the industry in the right direction with any challenges that they're encountering with respect to joint employer or minimum wage increases, and kind of fighting them at the local, state, and federal level. But in terms of franchise prospects for growth, it's a very growth-oriented mindset, and so unlike in previous years where fears of economic downturns really tampering everyone's expectations, it was a very positive outlook.
Franchise model still going strong?
Very much so. So we're tracking about 1 to 2 new franchise brands a day.
Wow.
So even though there are lots of reports out in the news about McDonald's and the National Labor Relations Board, it's not deterring franchisors or prospective companies to franchise.
I assume and I know there's people on the line who don't know what we're talking about. Give me a National Labor Relations Board 101 on what they're doing and why we should be concerned as lenders.
Apologies. Yeah, I don't think there's anything for lenders to be concerned about, but it is something that the franchise industry is paying attention to, because there's always a concern that someone who experiences something at the local McDonald's, that there's some sort of vicarious liability where the franchisor would be responsible for the actions that happen at the franchisee location. And with these labor disputes, particularly with McDonald's, right, there is a concern that a ruling around joint employer would actually make corporate McDonald's responsible for the actions of the franchisee's employees. So the industry is very concerned about this and fighting it on every level. So there's nothing right now for lenders to be concerned about, but it is something that the industry is taking very seriously.
What about the minimum wage issue? That could affect my cash flow analysis 2 years out if these minimum wages keep popping up at the local level. The increase.
Sure.
The increase.
I think that the industry accepts that minimum wage increases are happening. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of how much and figuring out a way to digest those increases.
I hear there's robots in our future next time in a couple of years. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Technology, a lot of some of the research that we've been doing on behalf of franchisors is directly related to technology and how to improve efficient operations to grow the business without adding additional staff. So that is absolutely a focus.
Edith, we have SBA 7A underwriters on the line. Tell us what you were out of Georgia, I think. Tell us what SBA is saying about a proposed rule changes to affiliation and franchising, and that's part of our topic today.
Sure. So I was at the Georgia Lenders Conference, which was in sunny Hilton Head. Would like it for more conferences to be there. But in any event, there were some SBA officials in attendance talking about how the affiliation rules in clearance and with OMB, the Office of Management Budget, and so they're hoping for some movement on that in the June timeframe. Though there's always a caveat that says, their fast is our slow, so there's no promises. And with respect to changes to the franchise process, no details have come out, but certainly, as we all would like to have some sort of streamlining and reduction to the rules, that they're working on it, and they think that people will be happy with whatever outcome they come out with. So looking at the same timeline, but again, no specifics were given, and no promises on the actual timeline.
Well, I agree with you. I've liked the changes SBA has made in the last several years to simplify this process. SBA understands our borrowers, Main Street borrowers, are very attracted to the online alternative fintech lenders because of ease and access to capital, albeit at a very high price. So they're trying to make things simple for the lenders and for Main Street. They got rid of the personal resource test, simplifying SOPs. Tell us what, if someone doesn't know, what does FRANdata do and what is the franchise registry? And I hear rumors, I guess, implementation of new websites. What's happening in your corner of the world, Edith?
Yes, it's very exciting in our corner of the world. I'll say it's all very good here at FRANdata.
I love it.
Because
good for you.
We are providing lenders with a better ability to judge brands based on their creditworthiness. So one of the challenges to franchising is really knowing the difference between the good and the bad brand.
Oh, I love it.
So we are helping lenders make those determinations with a new tool called the Fund Report. And really, to simplify it, it's a credit report of a franchise brand so that you understand as a lender whether the system is strong enough to support the loan that you are underwriting for a period of 7 to 10 years or longer. So we're looking at that same history of the brand in its entirety. So in addition to other aspects of the franchise unit that is critical to understanding whether or not your borrower will be successful. So, and it's put into the context of a credit report similar to FICO in that you know whether or not this brand is on the higher end of performance within
Come on, I want to see it. The good, or the... Give me the prop. Give me the prop. Thank you.
Or bad.
I love it.
And we're also going to be providing a subscription to the franchise registry to be able to delve into deeper questions. Like, I'm interested in financing brands. I'm a community bank that I can only lend into, one state. What brands are growing into my state? So we're going to be putting data onto the site so that lenders can self-service and understand who are the franchise systems that they can put their attention to, both from a creditworthy standpoint and from a growth and opportunity standpoint.
One of the takeaways that we all learned from the Great Recession was there's a lot of data out there that we can utilize to make better lending decisions. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, lenders would make the loan to the franchisee, didn't really care too much about what was going on in the brand. That has certainly changed, hasn't it, Edith?
It absolutely has, and I will say that one of the things that we've also changed with our services to franchisors, now mind you, we have about 900 franchisor clients that we work with every year, and we've expanded our base service offering of financing eligibility services to include the credit eligibility. So we actually are going through their franchisor's credit report and telling them what they need to do to improve. So for instance, if a brand has things in their franchise agreement that from a credit standpoint inhibits a lender to collect on the collateral, we're counseling franchisors that this is an impediment to lending and this has dinged your credit report. You might want to consider changing that to make it easier for lenders to do business.
Absolutely, and they want to sell more units. Edith Wiseman, President, FRANdata. Edith, thank you so much for bringing us up to date. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Bob.